Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. Good to see y'all. Thank you so much for stopping in. Today's video is my favorite overdrives, as you saw in the description. So I just wanted to take, 15 minutes and show off some of the stuff that I love that you might actually like too, that you didn't know existed. Or you probably already know existed and Mark, you're just a dummy. So either way, I'm gonna have a good time, so it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go just, play a little bit with each pedal. And at the end, I will close things out and leave it up to you. And you can tell me in the comments which of these overdrive pedals you'd like to have on your board. I'm actually thinking about selling a bunch of stuff too. So this is kind of a temperature check on which of these favorite ones are actually my top 3 favorites. So maybe I'll try to do that too as we go through. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just throw caution to the wind. We've got the Josh Williams Mockingbird. I've really been into humbuckers lately, so I'm living in that world, and that's fine. Going through the 2-Rock Bloomfield drive, and we've got a 112 closeback cabinet. So let's see what happens. The first pedal on the deck is the LPD 68. Now, what's really cool about this, it's a 2-channel overdrive pedal based in the Marshall land. And it's got a boost too. So this thing I know is in my top 3. I absolutely love it. I will say that up front. All right, here we go. Here is the clean tone. This is a straight signal going into the 2-Rock, and this is the neck pickup. So it's pretty darn clean, right? So let's go to the bridge. Great, here is the lower gain channel. All right, all this is on the bridge pickup, by the way. Here's the higher gain channel. All right, great. And then here's the boost on top of that, just so you can hear that. All right, next pedal on the block is the Red Cream Soda, MMK Electronics. This is a really nice, creamy overdrive, and it really sounds great with humbuckers. The Strat liked it, but not as much as this guitar. So here we go. great sound in overdrive too. And the creamiest, I mean the fizziest you can get it. So this fizz is the amount of overdrive. Also killing, right? All right. Next on the list is the Music Box Pedals Lila Drive. Here we go. All right, there's the Lila Drive. I like this one a lot as a light overdrive, kind of after a heavier gain. So as far as gain staging, this thing is beautiful and it plays really well with other pedals. All right, next on the list, the DevTech Audio Skylight. What's cool about this pedal is both silicon and germanium. So you can kind of switch between there, and depending on like how much you want it to get breaking up earlier. So let's start with the silicon, which has a little bit more headroom. And I will say this is another pedal that's a light overdrive that I like kind of second after a heavier gain pedal. So that was with the gain around 2 o'clock. So let's put it on germanium. You'll see how much like juicier it gets. So this pedal, the reason that I like this one a lot is how diverse it is because of the silicon and germanium. within the pedal, you can hear when you switch to germanium, there's a little bit of a volume loss, so you have to compensate for that if you're using the germanium section. The silicon is way more open and not as compressed, and it has a really kind of punchy drive to it. So this is another great pedal. All right, let's get this one off here. All right, next is the Silktone Overdrive Plus. This thing is a beast of a pedal, and it sounds great with both my Strat and with the humbuckers because it's so malleable in terms of controls. Let's go to... Here, let's just check this. We're going to check the volume and everything. That one is also one of my faves because it's got that boost circuit built into it. It gives you a little bit more punch, a little bit more overdrive. The strangle setting on here is great for strats. This pedal is very throaty, but it's got its own thing going on, which is why I love it. All right, next up, JHS Morning Glory. I talk about this pedal all the time and how it's such a, I mean, it's a fan favorite amongst a lot of people for a reason. I mean, it's a fantastic blues breaker type circuit. It sounds great with any guitar that I've put in front of it, whether it's P90s, humbuckers, single coils, doesn't matter. This thing kicks major ass. All right, here we go. All right, great. And then it also has the high gain mode. And it's got a lot of gain on tap. Even in the low gain mode, like I would never run it this way, but man. Don't sleep on this pedal. It's good. It's pretty good. All right, next up, the Cornerstone Gladio SC. Now this is a pedal I primarily use when I'm taking my Strat to a gig. If I'm taking just the Strat and my amp, I'm gonna change my pedal board around on which pedals I think interact better with single coils. This is one of those pedals that I think is primarily my Strat overdrive thing. So, but it sounds great with humbuckers too. Here we go. What's great about this pedal, I think, is how you can blend in the clean tone with it too. But I mean, if you want more gain, it'll get gainier, but I don't think that pedal really soars and like exceeds and does what it's supposed to do unless you've got a nice kind of bass tone, even if it's like a little bit gritty and you kick this sucker on and it gets that, especially with the Strat, man, it really does a beautiful, magical thing. All right, last but definitely not least is the Greer Lightspeed. I didn't buy this for years, even though I heard how great it was. I just slept on it way too long, but it is fantastic. Here we go, ready? Cranking the gain all the way up. There's just something great about the Lightspeed and how it gives and compresses and how it feels. A lot of people talk about that, like, how does it feel under your fingers? And I think that's a very abstract term for a lot of people who are new to guitar, maybe new to looking into gear. But there is a feeling that gear can give under the hands. Like when you pluck a note, when you pluck a string, there's like a sag or a forwardness or an aggressiveness to the note or to a bloom to the note, whatever it is. There's something about playing specific gear that will do that for you, and how it interacts with your hands and your amp and all that obviously all plays into it. But man, this pedal I always thought has a great give to a note. There's something about the attack of the note with this thing. So this is really tough for me. Like I feel, and I have more overdrives than this, and those are all I've decided are going. But I think for these, I think, here's my opinion, is for light overdrive, you've got the Lila Drive, you've got the Skylight, you've got the Cornerstone, and then the Light Speed. And I think, so out of all four of those, if I had to choose to keep two keep three and axe one, if I was going to do that, I probably would boot the Gladio SC, but only because I haven't been playing my Strat a lot, and the Strat's been sitting in the bag, and this is what's used for it. Now, am I going to get rid of it? No, I'm not going to get rid of it, because I still love it, because when I do play my Strat, it serves a purpose. But out of all of them, the way that they interact with how I play the instrument, and especially with these humbuckers, I mean, the Lila Drive, I've had this for quite some time, and I think that this really shines with humbuckers. It sounds great, again, sounds great with the Strat, but if you play humbuckers and you want that like fat forward kind of overdrive thing, this thing does it hands down. Better than all of these. The Light Speed, the big positive with the Light Speed is that it plays really well with other pedals too. So like fuzzes, like when you're stacking, that Light Speed really does an amazing job of playing nice. But yeah, they're all great. The Skylight also, this is an Australian company, DevTech Audio, and they make amazing stuff. This pedal, if you're going to buy anything from DevTech Audio like today, get this. The silicon and germanium alone, the options are so wide in terms of all the tonalities you can pull out of this little box. All right, cool. As far as like the Marshall-y stuff between the JHS and this, it's not really, this apples and oranges. Now granted, this has 2 channels and so does this, but this also has the boost built into it. So I can't really compare these because that boost is amazing and it's so clean, and it's just really like a nice volume lift. It doesn't color anything. This pedal is one of my favorite overdrives ever. If you're looking for that Marshall in a box kind of thing, or just like a really nice creamy overdrive that feels great to play, this is a go-to for me all the time. The JHS Morning Glory, again, I've preached the news on this to everybody that might feel like they don't want to buy a JHS pedal because it's not boutique enough. Don't listen to that stuff on the internet. This thing is amazing, and it's affordable, and it will sound awesome in your rig regardless, period. When we're talking boutique stuff, we're talking about the Silk Tone, which I think is a really good example of amazing engineering and like finding new sounds. It's not a tube screamer. It's not a blues breaker. It's its own friggin' thing. Every single parameter on here with the EQ switches and the knob and with that boost circuit built in. This is also a game-changing overdrive. So if you're looking to go boutique and you want something that's a little bit more fancy, if there is such a thing, because I think that's smoke and mirrors. But if you want something that sounds friggin' awesome and it's made by somebody who cares about tone, the Silk Tone Overdrive Plus is where you want to go. All right. And then lastly, boutique-wise, first of all, MMK Electrics is just, they make a bunch of cool stuff. The Norris Fuzz is really fun. I have his 2 treble boosters, which are both amazing. But the Red Cream Soda, I think, is his bread and butter. I mean, this thing is absolutely astounding. And I think it sounds, amongst all these, it's in the top, grouping, I think. It really has a wonderful feel, just like I was talking about with the Light Speed. This thing has a different kind of attack and a different kind of feel. And again, plays really well with other pedals, like my signature pedal through OCE, the Maryland Boost. That thing and this thing together, I mean, my signature pedal, I think it was kind of lost on some people on what it was. But like when Chris and I designed that, Chris designed it, but when Chris and I talked about it, what I liked about his boost that was part of another pedal is that it did get gritty while boosting. And for me, I did want something to color, and I did want it to interact well with other pedals. And it's no exception. It works great with this. The only reason I didn't put the Maryland boost in this is because it's not gainy like this stuff is gainy. It really depends on your amp and how you have that set too with the Maryland. But that's it. I mean, this was a long video, but it was bound to be because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pedals. Yeah. Didn't mean to do that, but here we go. Here we are. Super long, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Was this helpful? Was this fun? Was this too long? I'd say all the above, maybe. But anyway, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. I'll see you next time.